Good evening, Ruskin enjoyers. I hope you're doing alright, because it's time for 48 Hour Analysis. Yes, just 2 days ago, a very interesting Rust store appeared with some charity skins, because of course this week, Trust and Rust has taken place. Well, in short, we're going to go look at those skins that appeared just 2 days ago and look at their progress based on sales, and get a good idea if they're still holding up to being very nice investments, or are there any potential problems we need to be aware of. Now, what's going on here? This is a bit weird. Well, as you are aware, with every single week with a brand new Rust store, after the first 24 hours of sales, I'll take a screenshot from SCMM so I can share it with everybody. But unfortunately, literally just yesterday, SCMM wasn't working for a full day. So I had to make do, and I just looked up all of the subscriber counts at after 24 hours, and I added them all up. So yeah, if you go to a workshop page, look at the subscriber count, that is basically showcasing all the individual people who have bought the skin. Subscriber count, which I also refer to as bare minimum sales. If we have 3,253 sales for the Royal M249, that's it. That's the absolute bare minimum. We just don't know how many skins those individual people bought. Maybe some bought 10, maybe some bought 50, even 100. But at bare minimum, we know that's the number count for the Royal M249. And so, topping the sales for the week, we have the likes of Cursed Hide Clothing with around 6,300 sales each, Pixel Decay Tools with just under 5,000 sales, Pirate Garage Door just a little bit below, Cozy Wooden Door with almost 4,500 sales, and Abyss Roadsign Gloves with just under 4,200 sales, and as we've already mentioned, Royal M249 with only 3,253 sales. Now, when you make a comparison to the previous week, it's a bit absurd, isn't it? See, that was the first Rust store for January 2024, and every single skin here was doing amazing. We had so many skins that did over 10,000 sales after just 24 hours. We're not going to be seeing anything like that for a long time. But at the very least, with the skin picks that we had here, we know that Face Punch was being a little bit withdrawn, because as I was referring to, we have this taking place right now. Trust and Rust is currently taking place. There's a big event currently going on right now on Twitch, and all proceeds will be going towards the likes of Cancer Research UK, so it's all for a good cause. So I was basically referencing that we have these special skins right here. So we have the likes of the Clone Door, Clone Large Box, and we have these very interesting weapons, which I do want to talk about a little bit more. But these are currently in the Rust store, which we'll show off to you right here real quickly. And of course, don't forget, we have some special Twitch drops. Now, apparently, for the first day, you could only get generic drops. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but I believe as of the 14th of January, you're going to be able to get the other skins, such as the Captain's drops and the Player drops. So just to quickly go through all of this real quickly, to get generic drops, you have to watch someone who's streaming Rust but not a part of the event. To get these special streamer skins, you have to watch Hedge for at least 9 hours to get these free skins, or watch Blueprint for just 3 hours to get his bow skin. And then, if you were to watch any of these people here, the captains that are taking part in the event, you'll be able to get progress and earn all of these skins for free as well, up to 8 hours to get all 4. But then in contrast, we have these skins here. So these are all the players that aren't the captains but still taking part in the event. Watch any of these people. Look, there's tons of them. Absolutely tons to pick from. And yes, watching at least 8 hours in total, you can get all 4 of these skins. Now, you can mix and match. You don't have to watch someone and then stick with them for 8 hours. You can mix and match if you so wish. Just make sure the progress is still plodding along. And you got some very interesting skins here, like Klegwood Door. You got a very cool looking rug skin right there. And the first ever table skin in Rust for about 7 years. So grab it whilst you can. So yeah, go through all of that. Make sure you're watching everything, taking place on Twitch. And, even consider buying these skins. Yes, they are a fair bit pricey, but they're only here for this week and that's it, gone, because they are non-tradable and they are non-marketable, alright? So when you buy them, they are tied to your account, they are permanently stuck on your account. Make sure you don't buy multiples, but yeah, all proceeds do go towards Cancer Research UK, so it's all for a good cause. It's up to you what you do, but it's a pretty cool looking glow-in-the-dark door, a pretty cool looking glow-in-the-dark large box, and both of these weapons, they're pretty sweet as well. So I will talk more about these two weapons a little bit later, but I have to sit here now, go through all the skins that are obviously not the charity skins, and talk about, is everything holding up? Are they still doing all right in terms of, being a good potential investment? Shall we jump straight in? Let's do that. Right. So just over 2 days in, and we can see Cursed Hide Pants and Shirt, well, they've only done just over 9,000 sales, basically. And I'll be honest with you, that's actually looking perfectly fine for it. So when we saw these two being accepted, we of course saw the pre-existing skins Spike and Demand and Spike and Bryce, and that was very, very nice. And having spoken to one of the creators behind the collection, we know we're getting more skins, alright? So I hope you are looking on the likes of the workshop here, because you're going to be seeing something appear very, very soon. So yeah, in short, we are expecting even more continuations, at least 2 more groups of the primitive skin set here. Now, will we immediately see it being accepted next week? I don't think so. But at the very least, within this month, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some more cursed skins. So in short, basically, things are still looking to be very fine for this collection. And with this only doing 9,000 sales so far, I can't help but think this is going to probably only do between 15 to 20,000 sales. Now, as expected, with this week, I thought all the skins here were just going to be very tame, not sell that much. That is looking to be the case. So if those are the top selling skins so far, I'm not surprised at all by it. Now, in the current position that they're at, if this were to do 15 to 20,000 sales, when I first looked at these, I made the direct comparison to the likes of the Pirate Collection. Because with the Pizza Collection, it's not going to be doing all right. But if this is only going to do 15 to 20,000 sales, when you compare it to like the Pirate Collection, where all the hide skins, all the primitive skins did about 30,000 sales each, almost. Yeah, I can't help but feel like this is going to be doing perfectly fine as time goes on. Now, of course, both of them are black collections, but I guess you probably would prefer Pirate if you like pirates. But in short, I can see this retaining its value. I can see it not really struggling or suffering. It might not go up in price that much by itself. If we don't see any more cursed skins, I think it will reliably retain its value but not go that far. But based on the fact that we very likely could be seeing some more collection skins being, being submitted soon, and if it were to be accepted, of course you're going to still see the spike in price happen. And because there's less of it, all the better for it to rise up in price. So at the moment, it's actually looking to be perfectly fine. Now, if you were to want to go ahead and buy some, let's still wait until Wednesday, alright? I will be streaming Wednesday night. Look in the description of the video right now. You'll see all my socials right there, so if you want to get my Twitch link, it's all there. But, yeah, at the current rate, it does look like it's going to be a perfectly fine thing to consider chasing after. I might still want to do a buy order though, alright? Buy orders are the safest option. They are. Especially with, how things turned out last year with a lot of skins overall. Because while skins might hold up their price for a decent amount of time, eventually you're going to go through some bad times like the upcoming springtime, and don't forget about the likes of the autumn-fall seasonal dip. Yeah, things can get pretty bad, and a smart buy order might be the best approach for every single thing that comes out this year. Yeah. Alright, shall we move on? Okay, I really have to make a fuss about these tools, alright? These are a weapon skin selling at 99 cents each. And if we hop over to here and search metal, metal is, well, it's usually around $1 each, isn't it? So, load up. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is currently sitting here at around just under $1, I believe. Let's see how much buy. Yeah, 5 cents off. Okay, you got a 56 or 21. That's not looking too good. But basically, because this is already at like 99 cents, and, well, let me just inform you of a rule. Basically, guys, you're only allowed to destroy, break down a skin if it costs less than $1. These already selling at 99 cents means you effectively could buy them, and if they don't go up in price that much, or just stay at the price they're at, you instantly can just turn them into metal. Now, I realise this actually could be very bad for like some metal prices, because we could have a whole bunch of those tools just instantly being turned into metal. And with the fact that it's now selling at 95 cents isn't too surprising to me, but then again, it's kind of been like that for a fairly decent amount of time regardless. I can't help but feel like we might have a bit of a problem approaching us. Or, at the very least, if you like to make weapon barrels, if you like to make barrels, what were they actually properly called? Sorry. I'm having a moment here. Weapon barrels. I thought there was something different for some reason. Yeah, you're going to be able to make weapon barrels for a cheaper price, essentially. But it all depends what people are intending to do when they buy these. So these have done 7,600 sales each bare minimum already. And now that I've informed you, you're probably wanting to do that as well. Because at some point, do or does metal go up in price eventually? I mean, it does, but it hasn't really done that much, with this recent post-Christmas, but it's definitely been above $1 before. So if I look at the past, at the very beginning of last year, it was doing very well, but now it's not. Oh dear. But it has been trending upwards. But it seems like it's cooled off a fair bit. So if you think metal's going to go up in price at some point in the future, you could just go ahead and buy a whole bunch of these. But isn't that a bit of a risk to rely upon? Yeah, it is. I would sit there and say that. At the very least, are there people out there that want to buy them? I can't answer that. I'm not hating on the collection at all. It's perfectly fine for what it is. But I do know for a fact that people don't seem to care about skinning their tools, apparently. Because when you take a look at all the tool skins, you'll notice quite quickly that they don't seem to hold their value. Yeah, how many of them are in the negative? So all of those that came out last year, and then pretty much all of the skins here, except that might be getting pumped. And then you have Ancient Amber that's still doing all right. But basically, over the past 3 years, there's only a couple of skins in the positive, even though we've had about 30 of them accepted. So that's just the hatchets. We can also take a look at the pickaxes, but it's just going to basically be the same thing. So yeah, negative, except Ancient Amber, negative, except Rainbow Pony. Yeah, it's awkward, isn't it? So judging by that, it doesn't look like people care about their skins for tools. So what do I even say? So, because this is already at the price that we would normally expect weapon and tool skins to reach if they're not very in demand, and yes, this is normally what happens. When a weapon or tool skin isn't very in demand, they will always usually end up at around $1. And you can easily see that with the likes of AKs. Look at how many AKs are down in price, but always usually sticking around $1 because they can at least be turned into metal. So yeah, go take a look at all of these AKs. Yep, 98 cents, and then you see the likes of $1, just barely over $1, just under $1, just barely over $1, just under $1, literally almost $1, just under $1. Yeah, they're getting turned into metal. So they will at least retain their value to a decent amount, because at the very least, you can still turn them into metal and then sell the metal or use the metal. So again, looking at these, selling at just around the price that metal is, I can't help but feel like they're not going to suffer because they're already at the metal price, essentially. So in short, if you were to buy them, would they go up in price at all? I don't think so. Not by much. It's weird. It's not going to really go down in price. It's not going to really go up in price. It's just going to sit there. So a smart buy order must be the smart approach. I mean, yeah, smart. Yeah. Bit strange choice of words there, but you get the idea. It's not looking like it's going to do anything else. It's just going to stay around that price. I know that sounds incredibly silly, but the price is incredibly silly because, of course, it's selling at $1 instead of the usual $2. Sometimes Facepunch does this. So, in short, just do a buy order. Or, if you want some metal, just go buy a bunch of them, turn them into metal. You never know. Maybe loads of people who bought this are going to do exactly that, and then we end up with only about 100 left that exist, and then it suddenly becomes rare. I don't know, but at least you're aware of the whole situation now. So I guess we'll just leave it. I'll look at it on Wednesday, but I'm probably just going to do a lowball buy order. It honestly seems like the only thing we can really do. And again, if you want to buy them, by all means, go buy it. In fact, with all of these skins, if you happen to like them, buy them. Support those skin creators, buy them, support the skin creators, but I can't remember my special catchphrase. I'm sorry, I've completely forgot it. Buy it, use it, support the skin creators, keep them motivated to keep wanting to put out very nice skins in the future. There we go. I had a very weird Hedge moment there. Anyway, shall we just move on? Right, so on SCMM, it says this, not marketable, not tradable for the Pirate Garage store. Don't worry, it's just an SCMM glitch. That is marketable and it is tradable, or it will be marketable and tradable at the very least. Yes, so in this current position that we see, it is currently only doing just over 7,000 sales. Now, if we compare it to the rest of its deplorable collection, or the deplorable portion of the collection, well, this did just over 9,000 sales. This did just under 17,000 sales. I do believe this is going to probably end up smack dab in the middle between the both of these. Probably about 12 to 13,000 sales, which at the end of the day, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Will it retain its value as time goes on? Probably not. But like I have said when we first saw this, if we keep seeing more pirate deplorable skins being produced and of course being accepted, I can't help but expect the likes of these deplorable skins to just keep doing better. And yes, we can isolate the deplorable portion from the rest of the collection. So what's happening next with this collection? Well, I do know that Mr. 19J, the man behind this collection, and of course Desert Beast, he wants to go approach Desert Beast again. I think we're getting Hoodie and Pants soon, or Tier 2, something like that's happening probably this weekend. So I don't think we're going to be having another Pirate Deplorable anytime soon, but let me just point this out. We have got a whole bunch of pirate skins that are accepted. 19J is more than happy to produce them. Face Punch is more than happy to accept them. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure if we're going to get another Deplorable, buddy, I can't help but feel like we're going to definitely see some more. I don't know how many more, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see more being made and, of course, accepted. So just give it some time. But if you're wanting to approach that and try and figure out, I don't know, well, unfortunately, this isn't abnormal. We don't actually have any abnormal skins this week. Technically speaking, if you were to go to the store, you know, when we will normally sit here and try and see if there's a specially prepared link. No, none of the skins have that. Therefore, none of them are abnormal. Now, we'll be streaming on Wednesday just to be there just in case. You never know. Some skins might still be abnormal. I don't know, but it's not happening. I don't think so. But anyway, we're going to be there just in case. And, well, I think we're probably just going to stick with doing a buy order because, of course, you also have to take into consideration the amount of garage doors that we've been getting given to us at the very least. So, with this week, we're getting this old school garage door given to us for free. And it's a really funny, reference to a very funny video from the past. And maybe people don't feel the need to buy this because this is being given to them for free. And, well, fair enough, fair play. That's fine. But just be aware, for the rest of this year, we're very likely going to end up with about 25 to 30 garage doors. Whether it's Twitch drops or sold in a Rust store, it's going to happen. Because that's the trend that's been going on over the past 2 years. So will this always be special, or will it eventually suffer? Chances are the latter's most likely. And it's unfortunate to say that. But if we do keep getting those deplorables being produced and made, well, we're going to keep having spikes in demand, spikes in price. We have to hope that happens at the very least. Because if it doesn't, then yeah, that very likely will just go trending downwards. So at the very least, you probably just want to stick with doing a buy order. If that's what you think is safest, that's probably the best thing to go for. Cool, shall we move on? Cozy Wooden Door. This has done 6,734 sales. Done quite well, but it's also selling at a cheaper price. So normally a deplorable by default would sell for $1.49, and weapons and tools would normally sell for $1.99. But this week, probably because we got those charity skins, Face Punch decided to edit in some prices that we wouldn't normally see. So that's why we have two tools at $1 and a deplorable at 99 cents. Oh, well, $1. Whatever, Hedge. You're being so strange today. Okay, so this isn't going to retain its value. No. Or will it actually? Because it's already at a cheaper price, but let's go take a look at all the wooden skins, or the wooden door skins, and see what prices they're currently selling for. Legacy Wooden Door came out very recently, $1.42. Coffin Wooden Door, $1.07. Wooden Door from Hell, $1.73. But we should probably actually look at the likes of the declines or the drops in by percentage. And yeah, that's sitting there at 70 cents. This is sitting here at 92 cents, 81 cents, 84 cents, 71 cents. Look, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I think this is going to be the price range in which we see our cozy wooden door ending up at. So the idea of a wooden door skin being less than $1, very likely, very likely. So that right here, I do want to give it a good proper look real quickly. As you can see, it's all nice and carved. I think some role players would definitely appreciate it. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like enough. And I can't help but feel like a lot of people probably just don't care for this, unfortunately. What else can I say? So the likes of that, if you really want to go for it, I might just do like a 50-cent buy order. At the end of the day, if you like it, by all means buy it. Support the skin creator. That's always a nice thing to consider doing. So I'm going to now move on. So very surprised to see Abyss Roadsign Gloves has really slowed down with its sales. It's only just barely over 6,200 sales. Now, as I mentioned previously, yes, this is still going to be a marketable and tradable skin. Don't worry, it doesn't mention this is permanently bound to your account. This is just an SEMM issue. So, the fact that Abyss Roadsign Gloves haven't really sold that much could actually work out very nicely in its favour. Now, it has a bit of a weird stumbling block, the fact that it's already selling at $2. When we looked at all of the other Roadsign glove skins, we made mention that a lot of the gloves that are part of the well-established collection, as in it's got all the core pieces, or at least most of them, they've done perfectly fine. You've got the likes of Ronin Roadsign right here, Training Roadsign, you've got the likes of Hard Suit right here, Skull Killer, Black Gold, Berserker. Dragon Rage is a bit of an anomaly, but Dragon Rage as a whole sold like a ridiculous amount. Oversaturation, basically. But in short, the trend is that if it's part of a well-established collection, which I do believe these Abyss Roadsign gloves are, then yeah, it should be doing all right as time goes on. Now, if it doesn't sell that much, all the better for it to rise up in price. But all those glove skins that we just looked at, pretty much every single one of them sold for 99 cents. So they've risen up in price quite nicely, but they had a very low starting point. Whereas this is already like double the price most of them started off at. So you do have to kind of question, all right, well, is it going to do a decent job retaining its value? I think it will, based on the amount of sales that we're currently looking at. But how much would the increase be if there were to be an increase in price? I don't know. And that's awkward. I think it's actually looking to be still reliable, but just don't assume this is going to definitely be doing crazy numbers, crazy prices. It might go up by about 50 cents for a fairly long time. Or maybe, due to the fact that it's not selling that much, as I've already said, there's a fairly decent chance it'll just rise up in value quite nicely because there's hardly any of them that exist, hardly any of them that are in circulation. We can leave it to Wednesday. I'll give it a much better approach, knowing how many skins have sold by then, because at the very last second you're going to likely know where it's going to end up with the total sales. But yeah, I feel like that's looking to be a fairly reliable thing that's going to retain its value. It is part of a fairly decent, fairly in demand collection. It's goofy, but with the prices we can see here, it's doing okay. And with the gloves appearing, I did see the likes of some of the clothing go up in price a fair bit. It wasn't tremendously an insane increase, but it did happen. Just not by a huge amount. Awkward. But yeah, reliable, I'd sit there and say. And then we have this Royal M249, the lowest selling skin of the week. Not too surprised based on the price and based on the weapon itself, because, as I've made mention... didn't mean to click that. As I've made mention, M249 seem to struggle with the likes of a gun demand issue. If people aren't actively able to get the actual weapon itself that much, where's the justification to own skins for it? Where's the justification in wanting to buy skins at all? Does that kind of make sense? So basically, unfortunately, because of that, you can clearly see that with these prices, they're not doing very well. And I can't help but feel like this is going to struggle as well. Now, let me also just quickly point out, very cool looking skin. Mr. Mad Polly did a very nice job of this. Looks very stylish. And I did make a point that, you know what, that could have been a CS skin. That could have been a Counter-Strike skin. But honestly, I just don't think it's that in demand. And I can't help but feel like it's likely going to struggle. Now, with a sheer lack of sales, could it, rise up in price ever so nice? Yeah, I mean, it could. It could. But as we just showed you, M249s aren't exactly super in demand. So, it's going to be an awkward one. I'd like to keep an eye on it. But in terms of playing it safe, I don't really want to go jumping in and buying a bunch. I think I'm just going to stick with doing a buy order. And, that shouldn't be too hard to understand, is it? So... well, it is what it is. I'm pretty sure that'll probably end up doing a decent amount of sales. So let's just quickly look at all of these skins and get a good idea of where they're going to end up with their total sales. So the likes of Cursed Hide clothing, I do believe they're going to end up between 15 to 20,000 sales. With these tools here, I think they're going to probably reach between 13 to 15,000 sales. The fact that I had a nice talk to you explaining how you can just basically turn these into metal. Maybe there's going to be a lot more people wanting to jump in now and, maybe, as I said, just treat them as metal. So they'll turn them into, metal as fast as they can. We shall see. With the likes of this Pirate Garage door, I do believe we're going to probably end up between 12 to 13,000 sales. With the likes of this Cozy Wooden door, it's probably going to reach around just barely over 10,000 sales. Same as the Abyss Roadsign gloves. I do believe it's just going to probably end up between 10 to 11,000 sales. And this right here, probably 7 to 8,000. I just don't think it's going to really go anywhere. It's unfortunate, but I've seen many things in the same position like this, and yeah. But if it's done hardly any sales, never forget, that means it's very vulnerable to potentially being manipulated at some point in the future. And there's always people wanting to manipulate skins. Always. So, you've got to keep an eye on these things. I know, it's silly, isn't it? Alright, so, now that we've gone ahead and talked about all of these skins, I feel like there's a perfectly decent time to talk about the likes of these two weapons here. So, something weird's been going on with the likes of this Thompson here. So this came out, $7.50, pretty wacky design when you look at it, and this has also happened, but this is all part of the situation. So when we go to the likes of the workshop, All right, we have the accepted section, and we can see all the most recently accepted skins. However, the two weapons have disappeared, and I don't know what happened. And like I just showed you there a minute ago, well, you can see how I can see that perfectly fine. But when I go over to here and click this workshop, it's not working. When I go over to here and click that, it's not working. When I go over to here, for example, it's working. Something's happened, and I do believe they've actually gone ahead and changed the charitable weapon skins, and we seem to have proof. So this was mentioned in my server. The Aimsight of the Thompson has been tweaked. So we go over to here, and if we look at that, well, that's the AK, but that's really good. So from TGG's video, you can see it's got a lot of transparency. You can see quite a lot, and, well, that's pretty cool, isn't it? But when you look at it now, it's all covered up. So apparently that must have been changed. And the fact that we don't have the old workshop page for the original leads me to believe they did a swap. Or they must have done something, because we don't have that anymore. We have that. And I'm not hating, it's still perfectly reasonably fine, but transparency. Where's you gone? But yeah, the fact that that's what was shown to us, and we're not getting it, I can't help but feel like a lot of people might be asking for a refund. So that's a little bit awkward, isn't it? But at the end of the day, well, you know, it's all for a good cause, but I'm sure you wanted to get what you're told you'll be getting, and that's awkward. As far as I'm aware, the likes of the AK hasn't changed, and, well, that's a very cool, useful looking Aimsight, isn't it? Yeah, $10 though, but it's all for a good cause. I don't know what you're thinking, but I don't believe there's been changes to the AK. Feel free to comment below if you have noticed. I didn't get a good look at the weapons before the change went through, but just wanted to confirm this. As you go to the Rust workshop and look in the accepted section, the two weapon skins have disappeared, which leads me to believe they have tweaked it or swapped around what they were. Because, yeah, where are they? All right, then. So, after talking about that, I already made mention earlier. Make sure you're looking at the likes of the Rust Workshop and always being aware of what's literally just come out. Here's a sneak peek of all the newest skins. Not sure what this is. This seems to just be for a server, or maybe it's a Twitch drop. No, I'm pretty sure it's just specifically for a server. So we've got a few skins here, and I am building up the newest list, as you can see. That'll be out by next Tuesday, of course. So with the likes of all of that, remember what I said. All the charity skins are literally only here for just this week. And, you know, when the new Rust store appears, they're gone. Like, gone. So if you've got some money spare, if you've sold a decent amount of Christmas skins recently and you're feeling generous, please consider buying a few of these skins. Maybe all of them, maybe just one. At least it's something. And if you really, really, really want to, you can even donate directly to the event. So far, they've raised about $25,000. So, you know, they're doing pretty good so far. And this whole event taking place for the rest of the week. So go get those Twitch drops whilst you can. There's plenty to chase after and plenty of people to watch to be able to get them. And don't forget, if you haven't been able to get your skins instantly, if you actually sign into here and then click the missing skin drops button when you're properly signed in with your accounts properly linked, it will then make sure that it gets sent to you. So if any people were to struggle with that, just click this, sign in, make sure you're signed in either with the likes of your in-game browser on Steam, or make sure you're signed in on your Twitch, and of course, you know, make sure they're already linked. If you're not linked, go on Steam, sign in on browser, go on Twitch from the same browser, make sure you're all signed on both, connect them together, and then you can send them to your account. And it will quite literally send them to your inventory. So you'd have to quickly look for yourself. Sounds good? All right. So, what else could I quickly talk about? I should probably go ahead and talk about the likes of the Legacy Kevlar. So, I already did that basically today with my most recent upload. What will happen to Legacy Kevlar? I would definitely recommend you give this a watch if you've recently bought some Legacy Kevlar skins and you're feeling a little bit... because, honestly, even though we can see there's quite a lot of quantity, it's very weirdly spaced out. Legacy Kevlar Kilt is a very good example for this. So as you can see, there's apparently almost 700 quantity. Oh no, but with great thanks to my Steam extension, that being Steam Inventory Helper, I can see more listings. And as I look over to here, you can see how very well spaced out it is. Yeah, you got a 52 there. That's not doing any favors, but keep scrolling down and again, very well spaced out. And you'll notice at least half of these skins are selling for a much higher price. So this is what the normal regular people see. You know, you only see that much and that, and you think, oh no, the skin's doomed, but not really. It isn't. It looks like it's still perfectly fine to rise up in price if there were to be something very interesting potentially coming out on the horizon. And well, the optimism is that we'll very likely see these appearing within the next 2 weeks, potentially the next 2 Rust doors. So, I mean, that's a very brief explanation for what the video goes over, but give this a good watch and you'll understand the situation for all of the skins. And the other notable thing is the Legacy Kevlar hoodie and pants. Whilst they have very, very high quantities, again, if you just give it a proper look, you might notice that even though the pants has almost 500 quantity on the Steam market, how's it all placed around? You got a 15, 11 and a 37 or 26 there. Yeah, that's a problem. That's building up resistance. But if we do see those boots and gloves being accepted, that very likely will all get obliterated. And then after that, it's just 1116, 1112, 1112, 1111, and then you find out the vast majority of the stock is actually above $4. So yeah, don't be fooled into thinking it's screwed. No, it's just they've got a lot of quantity at a higher price. And wait it out, all right? Wait it out. Because on the horizon, good things very likely will be happening. You just got to be a little bit patient. And I've even heard rumours, or at the very least rumblings, that we very likely could be having a Legacy Kevlar jacket, potentially. I wouldn't sit there and feel like it's definitely going to happen, but I do know for sure Kosen wants to take a break from the collection for a bit and just do some other things. But whilst he's doing that, the Legacy Kevlar boots and gloves are still a candidate for the next 2 Rust doors. So let's just see how that potentially turns out. So how are the skins for the previous week looking so far as we look over to here? Yeah, not surprised to see Cursed is still holding up. Unfortunately, the jacket, the Pirate SAR, the Blackstone AR, the Black Gold L96 and the Chameleon SMG, they're already going down, but not surprised by that either because we did quite literally talk about that. And all the other skins that were very notable based on, well, you know, they have some special things behind them to keep their value up, are in fact retaining their value. So that's doing good. And then if we hop over to here, the previous week, Legacy Kevlar kilt, of course, we just saw. It's reasonably doing good. And surprised to see that this Industrial Bloodgate has been absolutely destroyed. I'm not sure if you've been keeping track of this, but this was going down to about 70 cents. And I know that because I have a 70-cent buy order. Whoa, look at that. Yeah. So I was like 1 penny higher. And I picked up a whole bunch of them. I'm starting to regret it. But yeah, I can't help but feel like a lot of people bought this assuming it was going to be the transparent version. And then when they got it, yeah. And very weirdly, why didn't they just refund? Do people not realise you can refund Rust purchases? Well, at least you're probably going to want to figure that out soon, I guess. I mean, it's up to you. So, unfortunately, these other skins don't seem to be doing very nicely. Legacy Bow actually did quite alright to retain some value. It actually was doing worse as it was in the Rust store, and, well, of course, it's been doing better now because it's no longer in the Rust store. This obviously was sticking around for all the December Rust stores. But yeah, it's not too far off from the price it sold for in the Rust store, and how's it all, like, paced out? Yeah, I mean, you got a big fat chunk of things here and there, but who knows? As time goes on, maybe it does get bought out, and maybe it does eventually rise up in price, because we don't have any other bow skin like that at the moment, do we? Or maybe we will from here on now in the future. Maybe we'll get some pretty weird-looking Twitch drops in the future. Who knows? But yeah, overall, it does look like quite a lot of the skins are losing their value pretty quickly, but that normally happens anyway. That's not too surprising, is it? Right then, so I do believe we've got everything addressed. We could also make mention that we had a very decent player count today, almost 150,000. Yeah, that's fine. That's keeping the likes of the average player count still increasing upwards and whatnot. I don't think we're going to have 100,000 average players for this month, but one could still hope, but it doesn't really matter anyway because post-Christmas didn't really go anywhere. Unfortunate for what it is, it just doesn't, it just didn't, okay. It just simply did not compare to all the previous post-Christmases I've experienced after the past, 6 years. So, yeah. I will be doing another update video tomorrow, talking about the whole situation, of course. I mean, I already have, but the main focus would be the likes of, have I been doing all right selling my skins? Yes, I have. I've been doing a great job. This account has gone above my maximum total allowed Steam wallet, based on the fact that I had a whole bunch of pending. And I have a whole bunch of other accounts to talk about based on the amount of money they've earned from all the sales. Because it hasn't been hard to sell skins, it's just a case of the skin prices weren't insane. And unfortunately, that's what we were hoping to see, and it didn't happen. Awkward. Is this updated? Is this new? Looks like it has. It's a new front page, it seems. What's on the second and the third page? Festive Garlands actually did a very good job in instantly retaining their value. So that was nice to see. But are they still going to hold as we approach the likes of March and April time? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? And yeah, all the other usual suspects, I guess. So in short, nothing too crazy this week, but I am expecting crazy next week. You know, it had to be calm this week with these Rust skins so that the charity skins could get a lot of the attention. And well, we'll find out what we get next week. Could we get some very insane picks? What would constitute as insane? Incredibly in demand. Like I did make mention, technically speaking, the whiteout burlap was submitted last week. If that was to be accepted, well, Face Punch would learn how to print money, basically, because everybody loves whiteout. But then again, I also made mention that in the past, we did have the option to have a whiteout jacket accepted, but Face Punch didn't accept it. It would have sold a lot. They could have sold it for $5 a piece, and it still would have done about 50,000 sales. But no, they didn't accept it. So we're just going to wait and see. And like I said, keep an eye on the workshop. Keep an eye on what's appearing, and you potentially could be the first person to make a quick move if a very interesting collection continuation has appeared. And well, if you're feeling like that's got a very good chance of being accepted, you might want to make an investment. So with that, I do believe we're now properly done, so thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. And if you'd like, do follow me on the likes of Twitter, as I will be retweeting all the skins that have been mentioned by the skin creators themselves. Like as they sit there and say, oh yes, I've just made this brand new skin, get a good look at it, and they have like pictures and whatnot. So yeah, if you want to be informed and whatnot, it's all there. So thank you very much. Catch you later, and see you, goodbye.